Thanks, Simon. Simon's been just setting us up. He's laying in bed in the hotel at the moment doing it but remotely. It looks like we're all good to go now and hot to trot. So yeah, like I say, welcome back to the 31st Irish Open. First squad of the day, 8 o'clock. I think we've got about 20 players this morning for this first squad of the day. We'll be on limited commentary this morning, but we'll be back after the end of each game to let everybody know what scores are going in. Full commentary this evening. And we'll try and pull in some guests in today, best we can, whoever's around. Top one, yeah. Oh, the very top one. There's two lots of green in there. There's a row at the top. Tip the game down a little bit, maybe. Oh no, that's the audio thing. Right. Better. Good morning to Craig Barrett, joined us on the stream. Owen McLaughlin joined us again this morning. Morning. So game one of squad 8. Guitar Pierron on a double and a 9. Denise Blankenzie up frame spare, and Andy Gillespie up frame spare strike. Is that better? A bit. Okie dokie. A bit more. Sound is okay now. Good, good, good. Thanks, Simon. Go back to sleep. Although, no, you said you were coming in at 9, so I'll see you in about 45 minutes then. Sound is okay now. Good. The only problem is it's got a Yorkshire person on it. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Irish Open. Welcome to Ashley Gill, Rob Harding, Daz McLaughlin, Glenn Robson and Roman Mikhailenko. Hi Roman. You're watching the 31st Irish Open live from the 18-lane Leisureplex Building Centre in Stillorgan, Dublin, Ireland. We're into squad 8, game 1. And on your featured pair, we've got Gutorum and Bjorn, Denise Blakenzie and Andy Gillespie. The pick of the players at the moment is Denise. She's gone open frame, spare, and then 5 in a row. Keep your comment and chat coming in this morning. Keep me awake. Early start this morning, 8 o'clock. In a windy and rainy Ireland. Come on the chat and say hello. Let us know where in the world you are today. Who you're tuning in to watch. Who you want to win. Good morning to Barry Brown, to Nathan Glave, Alex Russell. Sorry Alex, I haven't got back to you on your email yet. You sent a message about the Ronda Open. Yeah, I saw that. I'll link it's on Boltec UK page, mate, is the details. The Ronda singles there. It's about £1,000 first prize or something. Your question was how come the Welsh Open's in England when there's a big event being held in Wales? Good question. Brian Gillespie, early start. Dom, you've been at work since 7:15. Yeah, I noticed you're not here, but your wife and your dad are. No rest for the wicked, eh? You gotta work, gotta work, gotta work. So these two can come and bowl. Yeah, lass has got a nice shirt on. I like that Scotland top. Brenda Teese, mummy of a pro bowler. Good morning, Brenda. Blakenzie 6 in a row, looking for another one. 7 in a row. She's flying. Flying this morning. Is she going to go for the ladies' high game? We will find out. So let's have a run down the scores on the doors in the tournament so far after 7 squads. Alan Bride from Ireland is leading with 1462. He's way out in front, really, to be fair. The pattern playing differently this year. There's a new lane machine, an Icon machine, and new oil being used. Same pattern, but different oil, so it's playing a little bit differently. Foxing 1 or 2 of the players. Alan Bride leading with 1462, and then the next up is Bernice Lim from Singapore. A really good bowler she is. 1370 scratch, 1418 with ladies bonus. She's going to be there and thereabouts at the end, I would think. Timu Pukkisto from Finland in third with 1408, and in 1406 Laurie Sipler, also from Finland, in 4th. James Wigmore, highest English player at the moment, with 1391 in 5th. Anthony Simonson, defending champion from the USA, 1385 in 6th place. Then comes Tora Torgerson with 1378. Owen Lebioda, who bowled a 300 yesterday. He's in 8th place. Making up the top 10, Thomas, Kaiko and Hadley Morgan. 1370 for the top 10 at the moment. Good morning to Brandon Roberts, joined us on the live stream. Just coming up to the end of this first game then. Gutorm Bjorn, 199, 192 for Andy Gillespie. One in Colin Bryan, what's up? And Denise Blankenzi is just striking for fun at the minute. 8 in a row. Big news for England people is Danny Hopcroft's back. Down on 7 and 8 at the moment. She's going to miss the featured pair. She's going to end up on 11 and 12. So you'll just see her on 11 and 12 in the next game. Oh, 9 in a row now from Denise. Making it look easy, like shelling peas. Frame away from the end of this first game. We'll find out who the featured bowlers are in the next game. Denise Blankenzi, 9 in a row. Oh, and almost 10 in a row, but a really good game. 268. Shame about that very first frame of a 9 miss. Good morning to Lorraine Mayland. Good morning, boss. And good morning to Alison Taylor. So if you just joined us, you're watching the 31st Irish Open from the 18-lane Leisureplex Bowling Centre in Stillorgan, Dublin, Ireland. My name's Dom Gall from TalkTenPin.net, and I'm pretending to be a commentator. Quick shout out to our sponsors this week, Storm, the Bowlers Company, Rotor Grip and 3G Shoes. They're our main sponsors this week. Also our masking unit sponsors, Starbucks, Eco Hygiene, Mao at Home, Rocks Jewellers, Stillorgan Orchard, Dublin Food Sales, Cool Tech Refrigeration, TGI Fridays, Glenealy Foods, Mao, Crumlin Print and the Talbot Hotel. Right, so we're back with a little bit more commentary in 5 minutes or so when we get started on this second game. And don't go away. So we're back. Good morning from Norway. Who is that? Can't quite see that one. Good morning from Alan Rasmussen from Denmark. Kurt Raymond Vargen says, go Mold, BK. Alan Rasmussen says, go Sophie. Quality of the picture doesn't look as amazing today. I'll have to do some work on that. I don't know if it's, it looks okay on YouTube, it looks a little bit glitchy on Facebook. Or maybe that's just my internet connection, I think, at the moment. Shout out to Herbert Bickle at Bowling Digital. Thank you for the reports you're doing on Bowling Digital this week, Herbert. How's the picture for everybody else? Is it okay? I think it's just my internet connection that's a little bit iffy. I'm on the free Wi-Fi on my own computer, but the streaming one is a wired connection, so that looks like it's coming through really clear. Good morning to Steve Dalton and Anne Williamson from Wales and Scotland, respectively. Your featured pair then, Peter Sampson. Vigard Ruddingen and Sophie Rasmussen. Ooh, nice shot from Peter Sampson. Seems fine to you, Brian? Good. Yeah, it's just my Wi-Fi connection. It's looking a little bit glitchy. Thanks, Brian. Danny Hopcroft opens up with a strike and a spare down on 11 and 12. Remember to get yourself to tenpinbowling.ie for all the very latest scores. That's where they will appear first. Vegard's got a kind of strange haircut. Big ponytail. He's plaited his middle of his hair all the way down, so it's a bit like a Mohican that's been plaited, if that makes sense. Steve Dalton, good morning, great coverage. Now I know you're joking, great coverage. It's not floor bowling, this. It's better. Good morning, Craig. Craig Barrett. So let's run through some of the squads we had yesterday then. So the final squad last night was taken by Hadley Morgan. Got him down as an Irish player at the minute, but I'm pretty sure Hadley Morgan's English. $13.70 from Hadley. Graham Turner was second last night with $13.28, and John Stubbsy Bang with $13.22. Pick of the players last night. Squad 6. We had Tora Torgerson shooting 13.78. Simon Shepherd's on 13.67. Chris Matthews on 13.40. Patrick Meeker with 13.35 at 2.89 in that. Morning to Fran Pozzoli, Mark Russell. Alan Rasmussen says, yeah, it looks fine on YouTube, looks fine here. This is Kurt Remenwagen. Yeah, apologies if we don't get to some of the chat. We've got Facebook and YouTube streaming over this week, so there are plenty of options for everybody. Take your pick where you want to watch it, Facebook or YouTube. The original Chandler, good morning, Dom. Good morning, sir. And Rick Vogelsang from Malta just joined us. Hi, Rick. Game 2 this morning on our featured pair of 9 and 10. Peter Sampson, Sophie Rasmussen and Vigard S. Rudingen. Good morning from Malta, says Rick. A little bit warmer in Malta this morning, Rick. A bit of January wind and rain in Ireland today. Not too bad though, it's been colder over here. Nice smooth shot there from Miss Rasmussen. Oh! Peter Sampson misses his single pin. Stick with us today, we've got a few squads on today. So the Irish Open Tenpin Championships in association with Storm at 900 Global and 3. I keep saying Rotogrip, don't I? And it's not been Rotogrip that's a sponsor, it's 900 Global. Sorry. Sorry, Wes Pye. I don't know why Rotogrip are not there as well, then it should be Storm, Global and Rotogrip really, I guess. 13th to the 20th, the event runs up till Sunday. €4,000 for first prize, 2,000 for second and 1,500 for third. Highest game gets €300 on the male and the female. The first woman gets €500, so if she wins the tournament and the first lady, she's up to €4,500. The first senior wins €500 as well. The top 4 seniors at the end of the tournament. The last 4 seniors in will go into the seniors finals. Now interesting this year is Tora Torgerson, who's eligible for the senior event. But as we know from Tora, he's still good enough in the adult event. Rick saying there, the Malta Open 2019 entry form is online, so anybody fancies a summer tournament, can certainly recommend Malta as an event to go to. Very competitive, fun. A lot like this one, but as Rob Thirlby says, it's like Ireland but with sun. Or Ireland with warmth. But yeah, for you players out there in Europe, you fancy your chances on an EBT at some point, or you want to play a little bit more in Europe, the two events I would certainly recommend would be the Irish Open and the Malta Open, probably the Bulgaria Open as well. Some good little European events out there before you go for the big EBTs, your Brunswick Euros and Ballmasters and stuff. Josh Goldswin and Jason Agate joined us. Hello, Josh. Rick saying it's sunny in Malta after a lot of rain, but still around 15 degrees. Coming up to the 7th frame in this second game. Looking further afield, Danny Hopcroft from England back on the lanes after a break in her career. Strike, couple of spares and a four-bagger. Former England international. We'll have a chat with Danny at some point, see if we're going to get her back in the England shirt. And another good female bowler down there. Ghislaine van der Tol Stickter, or Stickter van der Tol. She's on about 155 in the 7th by the looks of it. Probably the first squad of the tournament, I believe. Who's joined us? You're watching the 31st Irish Open live from the 18-lane Leisureplex Bowling Centre in Stillorgan, Dublin, Ireland. My name's Dom Gall from TalkTemping.net. Hello. Bennett Sorensen says, Sardan Sophie. .116 in the 6th she's got, with a strike in the 7th. Peter Sampson picks up his spare. Struggling a little bit, there's a few opens in there, 113 in the 7th. Not the best of games. Miss Rasmussen comes up a little bit high. Get your comments and chat coming in. Give you a little history lesson now about the Irish Open. So 31 years we've been running now. First started in 1989 when Chris Buck became the first champion, while the centre was still undergoing construction from 24 to 36 lanes. It reads a who's who of top talent over the years. Winners like Chris Buck, Steve Gomersall, Del Delaney, Marcel van der Bosch, Nico Tiempont, who's here this week, Jeff Buck, Knut Hansen, Tore Torgersen, who's won it twice, 21 years apart, in 97 and 2017. Keith Hodge, Thomas Lee Anderson, Matthias Arup, Peter Allen, Wim van der Veen, Paul Evans Jr., Stu Williams, Paul Moore, Don Barrett, Nick Froggatt, all the big names from England there. Sven Roger Olsen from Norway had it. Brian Voss won it a couple of times. Barry Foley, the only Irish winner still in 2013. Jamie Bottomley, 2014. Yeah, Paul Moore's won it 3 times. Don Barrett's won it 3 times. Anthony Simonson, last year winner, of course. On the female side, Kimberly Coote, or Oakley as she's known now. Back in 1990 was the first female winner. And then who's who of female bowlers with Gina Wardle, Pauline Smith, Tracy Dew, Kirsten Penny, Lisa John, Laura Roney, Hayley White, or Hayley Russell as she's known now, Zara Giles, Hayley Rumkey, Amanda Larkin, Keda Ray, Nicole Sanders, Karina Dykes, to name but a few. Sharon Lowe from Malaysia, the first Asian winner of it, 1997. Lena Sulkanen from Denmark won it a couple of times. Even a South African, Anne Jacobs, with a win in 1995. Pauline Buck winning it twice. Rick asking where you can find the pattern. I don't think the pattern's been published anywhere, Rick. I think I'm going to have to get a photograph of it myself and put it up that way. Doesn't appear to be shown anywhere, but leave that with me. I'll try and get that one for you, mate. There's a few people obviously been asking about the pattern. It's the same one as always, I believe, but they've got a new lane machine, the new icon, and a new oil being used, so it's obviously played differently, as noticed by the players, because we've not got a 1500 yet, and not many 1400s. So it looked competitive, shall we say. Playable, but confusing for the ones that are used to a different pattern, maybe. Brian Gillespie, I think it's Bourbon Street, says Brian. I think it's the same pattern, isn't it, Brian, as usual? It's just played differently due to the new equipment. Just coming up to the end of this second game. We'll take a short break and we'll be back for game 3. Peter Sampson then finishes with 159. Vigard S. Rudingen going to finish with a low 140-ish maybe, and Sophie Rasmussen going to finish with a 203 if she picks up these 3. She'll pick up at least 2 of them, I think. I'll just wait for this game to round out. We'll be back in about 5 minutes with some more commentary then, though. Don't go away. Good morning and welcome back to the 31st Irish Open live from the 18 Lane Centre, Stillorgan Leisureplex, Dublin, Ireland. My name's Dom Gall from TalkTenPin.net. We're into game 3 now. And on your featured pair, we've got Greta Danielson, Mark Patrick. Be a quick game this one then. Just the 2 players on there. Amanda Larkins joined. Hi Amanda. Hope you're okay. Winner of this tournament. Won it 2 years in a row, 2015 and 16. The only other person to defend, I believe, was Kirsten Penny in 2003, 2004. Yeah, only two players have defended it, Amanda and Kirsten. And in the men, there's only Don Barrett has defended it, I think. 2008, 2009. No, sorry. Yeah, 2010, 2011. Dom won it. He won it 3 times in 4 years. 2008, 10 and 11. Split by Paul Moore in 9. Like I've lost my connection on my computer. Gratha with a strike then, 59 in the 3rd, with a strike working in the 4th, and Mark Patrick strike 7 spare 7-2, or 7 split 2. Welcome to Tori O'Hare, just joined us. Welcome to Tim Stampy, 710. Remember from Tim a couple of years ago. Picked up the 710 while Adam Michaels and myself were streaming, and we caught it. Thanks to everyone that's joined us on YouTube and Facebook this morning. Keep spreading that web address far and wide. Share, 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 please. And a featured pair now, 3 in a row for Greta Danielson. And a double for Mark Patrick, looking for a turkey now. Scores on the doors of the tournament proper, if you've not already looked. These scores on 10pinbowling.ie, the official website for the Irish Open. Alan Bride leading with 14.62, followed by Singapore's Bernice Lim with 14.18. Timo Pikisto and Laurie Sipler on 14.08 and 14.06. They're the only 4 players over the 1400 barrier at the moment. That's your top 4. Keep your comment and chat coming in. Good morning to Flavio Cuva. Flavio, God, as we call him in streaming circles. Flavio, you will remember from Bowling Digital days with his amazing super slow motion videos. I don't think anybody's done the super slow motion as good as Flavio. Although Rick Vogelsang in Malta is doing slow-mo now. And a lot more. You want to be checking out the Mediterranean Championships coming up in February. Rick will be streaming in Malta, that big championships. And it's going to be worth watching. Trust me. Greta Danielson then picks up a spare. About 6th frame, just over halfway in this 3rd game. Let's see if we can get some guests in today. Seem to be many people hanging about at the moment. There's a group of lads just come in that I think they're coming to do something else. What is it with kids these days? They've all got the same haircut. What's this like curly on top and short at the sides business? Seems to be any massive scores going in this morning, maybe a little bit early for some people. I'm not sure if the lanes are playing better in the morning than the evening. I would expect them to play a little bit slicker on a morning. The ambient temperature being that little bit colder on the morning compared to the evening. Thomas Galvin, welcome. I think so far the scores have been coming from the mid-afternoon to evening as opposed to the morning, but that's not to say that the morning squad won't have a few surprises. Nicole Sanders, the champion from last year, has just tuned in. Can she be the 3rd female player ever to defend the Irish Open? As we said about 5-10 minutes ago, Kirsten Penny and Amanda Larkin, the only 2 to have retained it on the female side. Thomas Calvin, good morning lads, good bowling. Thanks Thomas. So as we stated yesterday, this is the final Irish Open that we will be doing for streaming. The Irish Open is obviously continuing. We'll be on again next year for year 32 and beyond. There will be a new streaming team next year, which will be announced soon, I would think, when it's all nailed down. But don't worry, we've done our 5 years, Simon and myself, and we're going to leave it in very capable hands. Don't worry about that. In fact, if I'm honest, it's going to be better next year. Antonello Amato just joined us. Hi. He joined us in Game 3 of Squad 8. Greta Danielson and Mark Patrick on our featured pair. Greta going to finish with a it's got 183 in the 9th at the minute. She can tap out for 213, but definitely around about 2 here. Mark Patrick also around about the same score if he spare strikes or doubles in the 10th. Oh, maybe she won't now though, she's just done a split. Jinxed her. I was telling her she was going to have 200 and she's not now. So scandalous. Mark Patrick then, looking for some strikes. Gets the first one. Go on, Greta, slide it across. From Mould. Takes one. So finishes with 192. But with a ladies bonus, we'll give it a 200 game. Mark Patrick looking for a Barney Rubble in these closing frames. Just up a little bit high. So we'll round this game off. We'll have some more players in a moment. It looks like Craig Barrett's on his way down. I'm not sure who else yet, but we'll find out very shortly. So be back in about 5 minutes' time with Game 4. Don't go away. Right, welcome back, and joined by a guest now. We've got Craig Barrett's dad.
Hi.
What are you commentating with me for? You know your boy. Right, so he started off all right then. He started with a spare and a turkey.
Yeah, where's Selwyn when we wanted him?
Yeah. How's he been bowling recently then?
Yeah, he's been doing all right. Yeah, he's like the season's just starting now, so hopefully he'll do well. But
he's been improving the last few years, hasn't he? He's learning his trade a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Getting out there a little bit, playing in Europe a little bit as well.
Yeah. Nice holidays.
Yeah. Is it your idea of taking places then? Not him. Oh, I want to go. Oh no. Do you want to go here? Yeah. All right then.
Well, I didn't have a passport until like we did that first Malta.
All right. Okay. You'd never had a passport.
Nah. And then he said, "Dad, you better get yourself a passport, and we're going to Malta to have a go." So we've never looked back since.
Excellent. So you got loads of stamps on your passport then?
Yeah.
Your very first one.
Yeah.
Here he goes again, looking for 4 in a row.
Oh. But yeah, he's one day he'll get there.
It's not an easy game to make your mark in now. There's just so many good players in there.
Yeah, no, that's it.
You really got to put some form in. And what does he do for a job, Craig?
He works. He works for e-commerce. He does buying and selling.
Yeah.
So
on a decent wage then and stuff. Can afford it.
Yeah. So we save hard and
party hard.
Yeah.
And travel hard.
Yeah.
What have you got lined up for this year?
Well, we're here today. This weekend we're off to. He's going to Tilburg in March, and then then we're back to Vegas in the end of March for the USB Open Nationals, whatever they do.
Yeah. Oh, you're playing that?
Yeah.
Team going over for that?
Yeah. Well, what happened was one of our friends that he bowls with said like 4 years ago that why don't you come out and bowl in America with us? So we team up with some Americans out there, and then he bowls with with the Americans.
Yeah, it's good to get a bit of experience stateside, I would think.
Yeah. And they love him.
Yeah.
Out there. Yeah.
They think he's Don Barrett's brother. Don Barrett's younger brother.
We used to get that a lot.
I bet, yeah.
And I think people, like, you see them and you can see on their faces and they want to ask. And
yeah. He doesn't look like him, but he's got the same name.
Yeah. But yeah, we used to get that all the time.
Excellent.
When we used to do the corporate games, we did a world one in Leeds, and there was a group of Germans, and that's the first thing they asked was, are you Dom's brother?
Yeah, he should play up to it.
But yeah.
Holly Stone says, good morning, Dom. Streaming is excellent. Thank you, sir. We got on the other side. Richard Teese has joined us. Oh, we've got a PBA player watching us. Sue Clifford Smith. Hi.
Oh, that's his auntie.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
the aunties are all. Brandon Roberts is back again. Simon Shepherd is watching. Michael McCall. Marcella. Augusta Creo. Mr. Kiriakou from Cyprus is Andy Penny from Leeds. And Andy McLeod. You're watching game 4 of the Squad 8. We've got
featured
players.
watching.
Yeah, give shout outs to family if you want while you're on.
No, I better not.
You can do, just no swearing.
Yeah.
Christensen Stubbsy Bank. Yeah, oh God, I can't even read that one. She's got 85 in the 5th. Anke van. Oh, how do you say that? Iwick. And Craig Barrett. Oh, that one's easy.
Yeah.
119 in the 5th with a strike in the 6th. Was he sporty as a kid?
Yeah, how it all started, he used to play football a lot when he was like 8, 9. And one of my mates said, like, when we were in Scotland, Craig, learn to bowl. And he was like 10 at the time. And you can be my partner in the corporate games. And that's how we went to Enfield. And he started learning, and we never looked back really. He's like, enjoys it.
Yeah.
It can be a team sport. It's like today, individual sport. So
yeah.
It's
Well, it's kind of one of them sports that you fall into and you never really fall out of.
No.
Even when you don't bowl, you're still associated with people you remember from bowling or lifelong friendships, really.
Yeah. And like you say, you go round, like we go around Europe and you see the same people and they come up to you and say hello,
get to know them, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you get to meet some of the big stars and you find out they're actually quite cool, a lot of them.
Like last year when we went to Munich for is it the Brunswick?
Yeah, Brunswick Euro Challenge.
Yeah. And you got all the big PBA bowlers in there and stuff. And
yeah, it kind of reminds me of the British Open, that one, where you get on a lane and you're going to be with somebody really awesome, probably.
Yeah.
You know, you can be crapping yourself all the way through the block, but because you're on with Sean Rash or something like that.
Yeah, that's it.
Does he suffer from nerves at all? Is he managing that now?
Yeah, I think he's managing that now. He used to, and like we said, we keep saying to him, like, you just need to calm down and go through your routines like you've been taught and stuff. And
yeah, play your own game and don't worry about other people, sort of thing.
That's it, yeah.
How's he done in this block so far, leading up to this game?
He's doing all right. I think he's 20 under, but
20 under.
Yeah. But if he carries on, he'll be back over again. So
yeah, it looks like he's putting a TV performance in.
Yeah.
I've got to have more than 160. I've got to have more than 160. I've got to keep it on the lane.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. But this is his first squad, so he's got another 2 to try.
Right,
so.
okay. Will he cancel them if he has a really good squad in one of them?
Probably, or he'd just go for it and just learn a bit more about the lanes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, sometimes you can have a massive score and think, right, there's no point having another one. But then you're cold going into the finals.
Yeah, that's it. So.
Only child? Brother, sister?
No, only child.
Only child.
Only child. We wouldn't be able to afford it otherwise.
Yeah, amen to that. I know that feeling.
So yeah, we're going to Rome again as well.
Okay.
He wants to do that again.
What is his goals in the sport, really? Has he got any? Does he want to go that little bit further, or is he just happy to enjoy it?
He's just happy to enjoy it. If it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
You know.
If he has a good tournament somewhere, yeah. There's a lot of bowlers like that. It's very difficult to become a great bowler in a range of so many other good bowlers.
Yeah, no, that's it.
That's why you see the PBA players, that lots of different winners in a year, because it must be really tough when you've got like 60, 70 players there that are all good enough to win the event that week.
Yeah.
Whoever matches up best, quickest.
The other good thing is, like, if you are bowling against them and you beat them, it's a bit of...
It gives you a boost, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that as kids. You know, if you beat somebody that was really good, you took the scalp sort of thing. And I'm unbeaten against Phil Scammell or whoever else.
Yeah, that's it.
It never happened to me. I never beat Phil Scammell.
Well, that's a name from the past.
Yeah.
But we could do with a tournament like this in England. Someone to grab the sport and...
We've got one. We've got the English Open. It just doesn't seem to be as supported as this one. There is, we've got the English Open. We did have the London International, but that didn't get support.
No, that's right.
And obviously with string bowling at Airport now, it's going to be a bit different to have a tournament like that, but not impossible.
No, that's it. I had a go at that string bowling.
What did you think?
All right, good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did your opinion change of it? Did you think, all right, doing this, it looks rubbish, and did it change, or were you kind of open going into it?
I wanted to be open going into it because I wanted to do it just to say, like, when I'm talking to people or when they're talking about it, I can then say that I've done it.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of difference. All right, we had one tangle. They sorted it out within minutes. There was no flying pins, and
I think the things we've noticed between us is if you get a mixing strike, they seem to mix a little bit different.
Yes.
But if you hit him, the way you would normally hit a pocket shot, they go down like they would a pocket shot.
No, that's right. So the lane's the same. Everything's the same. It's just, and you can't really see the strings because they're black, so they don't stand out.
Yeah, I think people still remember the 80s and the 90s of bowlingo and stuff. And it was a little bit arcadey.
Yeah, that's it.
It's kind of different now. it's not to everybody's taste. I'm not going to say it's amazing or it's not amazing. It is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
And we can't really lose membership to it. You know,
No.
we need membership at the moment, whether it's string or traditional.
Definitely there. I agree with that.
Right, we're coming up to the end of the game then, and looks like Craig's going to be the pick of the players. He's on 179 in the 8th, with a spare working in the 9th. We've got some comments coming in. Good luck to my SA bowler. South Africa are here this week. Mark Delaney's joined us. Mario Joseph. Hi, Mario. Bert Van Kikoven. And Richard T says, did anyone beat Phil Scammell? Well, yeah. Yeah. He came second in the British Open 5 times. So, yeah, somebody beat him 5 times. But generally, he was the man. Scam the man. He took a bit of beating. He did things with balls that we all like, well, what? How do you even get a hook like that off it?
Sorry.
Yeah, good shot. Yeah, first one in the 10th for Craig. 199 on the board. He's going to finish with a 229 if he taps these next 2. That's a good TV game. He can. You know, no matter what he bowls at rest at Sklod, he had 220 on TV. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Didn't look out of place.
No, that's it.
And another one, Craig.
But we've just started bowling on wooden lanes because we've.
All right.
Our centre, we used to have leagues.
Get in.
And this year, I don't know if it's because of the Hollywood Bowl and the BTBA thing, but we've managed to get our league back at our home centre.
Oh, excellent.
So we bowl out of Stevenage again now.
Cool.
So, all right, it's
wooden lanes.
Yeah, but they're good. Then the technician we've got is a bowler, so that sort of helps.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's interesting now that there's a generation now that haven't really played on wood much.
No.
You know, we all grew up on it.
Yeah.
You know, plastic was kind of the plastic.
Yeah, yeah.
When they initially came out, I'm playing on plastic. But then it took over and wood is old.
Yeah.
Yeah, good finish, 229. Well, thanks for joining me, Mr. Barrett.
That's all right, no problem.
You brought some luck to him anyway. He's not embarrassed the family name. Good game. He smiles a lot though. I like that about Craig. He's always got a smile on his face. 140 then for Hege Christensen Stubbsy and Anique van Ewok. Ewik. Well, Ewok. Sounds cool. She's got a Barney Rubble in the 9th and first in the 10th. She's going to finish with a 207 if she gets another couple of strikes. It's been a good game. You're down another couple of pairs now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
down there.
2 more games to go. Craig.
Right. What you on? 9 over.
Yeah, so it's gone to 9 over now, as Craig. For you family, friends and fans out there. So we'll just wind this one down then, and we'll be back in 5 minutes with some more comments. Yeah, thanks for joining me.
No worries.
Yeah, you're now a commentator. If I need you for final, if he makes it, you can come in. Cheers, boss.
No worries, thank you.
See you soon.
Yeah, cheers.
Right, we're back. Welcome to the 31st Irish Open, live from the 18-lane Leisureplex Bowling Centre in Stillorgan, Dublin, Ireland. My name's Dom Gall from TalkTenPin.net, and I'm pretending to be a commentator. Welcome to Chris Oates, Paul Edzer, Paul Traynor and Paul Gray. Hey, it's all the Pauls are turning up. We just need Paul Pogba and RuPaul now, and we've got a full set. John Stubbsy Bang and Femke Postma are our players on the featured pair. Just 2 players, so it's going to be a quick game. You got any comments or questions or anything? Send them in. Any particular players you want to know anything about? Take a chance to thank our sponsors: Storm Bowling, 900 Global, and 3G Shoes. Also to our masking unit sponsors: Starbucks, Eco Hygiene, Mao at Home, Rocks Jewellers, Stillorgan Orchard, Dublin Food Sales, Cooltech Refrigeration, TGI Fridays, Glenealy Foods, Crumlin Print, and the Talbot Hotel. Kurt Raymond Wagen says, "Go, John Espang." He started with a strike and a spare. Please remember to share the web address as far and wide as you can. Try and get some good numbers today. We hit some big numbers last night. It looks like Talk 10 Pin's Facebook page is flying up at the moment. Let's have a look at our insights. I think we were catching flow bowling last night. Yeah, flow bowling got 2.4k engagement this week. Talk 10 Pin 2.2k engagement. So we're competing with a PBA. That's not too shabby. And we're ahead of Bowling Digital. Woohoo! So game 5 if you've just joined us. Welcome to Paul Moore. Hey Paul, are you over this week? Are you coming to win it again? 3-time champion? You gonna come on and win a cheeky 4K? In frame 3 then, at game 5. Another 3 squads today. We're back at lunchtime at 12, and then we're back at 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock. Mario saying to Richard they played Phil Scammell a few times and never got close. There's a lot of people never got too close to Scam. So, well, you'll see next week actually, or you'll see at the weekend with the the UK Hall of Fame database that we're releasing, just how good Phil Scammel's been over the years. The list throws up some interesting things. Like some players have had more European or international careers than they've had domestic, and some have just had stellar domestic careers. We have a ranking point system. At the very top, 22 points, I think, for a World Masters Gold, down to 1 point for a domestic UK win or a tour win, and then everything in between, EBTs, Opens, World, European and Asian titles, that kind of thing. But makes for an interesting list, and we're running a competition at the moment on the UK Tenpin Hall of Fame. If you get yourself over to that website and Facebook page, we've got all the details on the competition. You've got to name the top 4 male and the top 4 female players of all time in the correct order, and it's not as easy as you think. A lot of the bowlers out there have got their favourites or their emotional ties to certain players who they think are good. But if you have a good old think about who's won what in the last 40, 50 years, you can come to the conclusion of a top 4 reasonably close. Getting the exact positions will be difficult. But running down some of the names that you can choose from, you've got your likes of, let's do it in alphabetical order. Let's get to the actual post. So it was always going to be a tough question to answer when no records had been saved by anybody in the UK since its inception in the early 60s. That wasn't true, of course, because information was saved and lost, and some scattered in old magazines, newspapers, and a really good records collection from the European Tenpin Bowling Federation. BTBA had a flood at Balfour Road years ago, and apparently all the information that was in the garage got lost. Why it were all in the garage, I don't know. You know, if you've got records from year dot, they could have gone in the loft. But a few years of finding and collecting print media and stuff. It's been about 10 years I've been working on this to get it to a stage where it could be built. Got all the results together, or as many results as possible in magazines, and then David Granger from the Hall of Fame, the president of the Hall of Fame, I enlisted him to build the database because he was the guy that started computer scoring in this country, or in England, with the NST back in the early 80s with Dave Simons, who's here this week. We could probably have a chat with Dave Simons about the old NST days and developing scoring on Apple II computers and humping monitors up and down the country. Anyone that remembers those days of the NST will remember how kind of cutting edge it was at the time. So yeah, Dave Granger built the database. There's about 800 names in there. We've got bios for every single one of them. Photos for a lot of them now. Still being built, but we're getting there. And some of the names on that list, as I said a couple of minutes ago, we've got, so your top 20 at the moment in alphabetical order would be Donna Adams, Fiona Banks, Pauline Buck, Jenny Carter, Billingham, Verita Crawley, Joe Cundy, Zara Giles, Nikki Hamilton, Gemma Harding, Burden, Judy Howlett, Robbins, as she was known, Lisa John, Sheila Leonard, Kim Oakley-Coote, Kirsten Penny, of course, Kira Ray, Hayley Russell White, Meg Shaw, Anne Smith, Holly Towersey, and Gina Wardle. And on the men's side, Don Barrett, Chris Buck, Jeff Buck, Bernie Caterer, Darren Cundy, Paul Delaney, Lol Ellis, Alan Fawcett, Nick Froggatt, Wayne Greenall, Richard Hood, Kevin Horton from Northern Ireland. The only
other home nation player to have got into the list. Laura Roney's in there somewhere, but she's just outside the 20. Brian Michael, Paul Moore, Ron Oldfield, Dave Pond, Mike Quarry, Phil Scammell and Richard Teese, Steve Thornton and Stu Williams. So you've got a lot of names there, and picking the top 4 from them, it's not easy, but it's, you know, if you think about it, you can get close. So the database basically is covering just about everything that's ever been. We've got international at PBA, World Championships, Adult European, Commonwealth, Senior World Championships, Senior European Championships, World Youth Championships, European Youth, European Temping Cup, European Champions Cup, Triple Crown. We're only doing all events and masters for Triple Crown, so don't be expecting to find your doubles bronze in there or anything like that. Cubica AMF World Cup, of course. Certain events that are not in include the Cubica AMF Bowling Promotion Cup, the AMF Gold Cup, World Bowler of the Year, European Bowler of the Year, and Weber Cup appearances. Not really applicable. But we've also got things like the World Ranking Masters, 10-pin Masters, World Temping Cup, World Games, World Youth Games, European Cup, European Youth Cup, European Intermediate Cup, Commonwealth Games, Commonwealth Youth Games, then your Asian Tour, EBT, and onto domestic, you've got British Open, British Match Play, Irish Open, Welsh Open, Scottish Open, English Open, BTBA Nationals all events and singles only. Same with NAYBC, all events and singles graduate only. So don't be expecting Richard Teese, your Pee-wee gold to be in there and stuff. Maybe eventually in the future we could include some of those, but at the moment it's just graduate. Team ranking events, SBC, NST, PTBC, ESBT, the Jim Brewer, AMF Scratch Tour, miscellaneous scratch events, Scott Banks, Coca-Cola 5s, European 5s, BTBA Nationals team event, not included at this stage, but we're looking at it. BTBA Inter-County Championships for consideration in the future. Still building those lists. We haven't got all the results from the Inter-Counties and Nationals, but we're getting there. And then we've got Scottish domestic results, Welsh domestic results, and Northern Irish domestic results. So far, player records, 817 players are in the database. There's 3,787 event records, and a total performance ranking points total of 12,063. This is a big thing. A lot of work gone into it. But we estimate over the total records available, we're about 85% complete. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised when you see what we've got. We've already upset the seniors already before we've even released it, so I'm sure there'll be one or two having a beef when we...
Where's my results from 1962? Why aren't the seniors in?
We're not including handicap. Simple as that. We're not including age bonus. Scratch is scratch. We're hoping to get a database of age bonus senior results in the future if the seniors are available to build that for us. In consideration for inductions in the Hall of Fame, the seniors is considered. Players like Ron Oldfield have got in off the back of a strong adult and a strong senior career. But I'm getting excited about showing it on Sunday. But get your entries in for the competition. You've got until Sunday. Oh, you've got until Saturday night, midnight Saturday night, to get your entries in, and then we'll announce just before the final on Sunday when we get a bit of busy traffic. Welcome to Sarah Kate Foley, watching down the road somewhere. A little bit of history of the 60s while we're waiting for this game to finish. John Stubbsy Bang's going to finish with 191 and Femke Postma with a 226. So 1960s were the start of bowling in the UK and Ireland, with a rapid expansion and heavy promotion of proprietors. TV coverage in the early days, and most tournaments and team events and records were fairly scarce. They were in Tenpin pictorial magazines, and Strike magazines were still sourcing a lot of those. Not easy to tell if events were scratch or handicap early on. The BTBA National Championship started, and the International Match Play became a fixture on the calendar. A number of printed bowling magazines were around, like I said, in Tenpin Pictorial, The Bowler, Tenpin Monthly, and the first medals at World Championship we won in 1967 with Dave Pond. 70s though came, and closure of centres had started. The boom had started to bust towards the late 60s, early 70s, but there was still a strong base of league and tournament players, and national teams were playing more. The start of scratch bowling tours with the PTBC and NST, and records became a little bit more available with the publication of the World of Tenpin in 1978. Then into the 80s, a great period for scratch bowling with the PTBC and NST developing, continued coverage through World of Tenpin and then Go Tenpin. Again, lots of information available. British Open started and attracted bowlers from all over the world, also with the British Match Play, and the introduction of automatic scoring in the early 80s led to a resurgence of bowling in the UK in the early to mid 80s as AMF went through a major programme of regeneration within their centres, and probably the forerunner of what we see now. They went from being bowling alleys to kind of what we know now as entertainment centres. Then the 90s came round. World of Tenpin had changed to Go Tenpin, and lots of other information available. Still a strong single circuit, so new national ranking systems were developed to select the England teams. Previously it seemed to be a closed shop, and not many Scotsmen got in or anything like that. You know, you had to be part of a clique, I think, at the time. But we did have great players playing for Great Britain in the early 80s and 90s. Another boom started in the 90s then, with a lot more centres opening following AMF's regeneration. Everybody opening new centres, UK Super Bowls, and what else were there? Mega Bowl started to appear, and then into the 2000s, a big expansion from a number of international events, especially at youth level. Most of our world and European medals were won during this period, so the 2000s, as you'll see from the database, where we got really good. We started winning a lot as home nations. EBT started, more structured, and the ETBF site has kept records from the very beginning, which has been invaluable in finding this information. Talk Tenpin started in the 2000s, around about 2006, and became another great source of information, along with Badass Bowling that had appeared 6 or 7 years earlier. Badass Bowling, one of the reasons why I started Talk Tenpin, because I liked what Basher were doing, even though it was a bit rude for your general populace. So we tried to dumb that down a little bit and play it down the line a little bit and allow Basher to be Basher. And then 2010s, or the 210s, some English bowlers migrated from the European Tour, and then they tried the hand at the PBA. Stu Williams being the first, got through onto the tour on the old style of PBA trials. I think he got through the same year as Timmy Mack got through. And then later on, obviously, Don Barrett had a go. Paul had played a couple of events. And eventually Richie. Yeah, the ESBT started recently by the PTBC. It's still going, is the PTBC. And the top players all play on sport patterns now. Internet has proved a rich source of information. However, there's a gap of information still that we need to find. So going on to the records that we've got, 1960s, we've got 139 records at the moment. And leading up to the 210s, we've got 868 records. The most we've had so far, 1107 in the 2000s. But looking at the average points per entry, we can see that in the 60s we were on about 3.4, and then it dropped to 3.3 to 2.6 and 2.7 in the 70s through the mid 80s to 90s. and then a big jump in the 2000s, as stated in the earlier part of the text. We did start to win a lot of stuff around about the 2000s, which raised the overall points entry to 3.5, which has improved in the 210s to 3.7, thanks mostly in part to the PBA stars that we've got nowadays. But the tail is, in 60s we were pretty good, and then we tailed away in the 70s and 80s as the sport receded a little bit, and then through the 90s, 2000s and 210s got really good. In it all, it's a good luck to all. Can't wait to get out later and watch some amazing talent. Yeah, that's true that. There is a lot of amazing talent. Ron Hurt has joined us from the USA. Are you in the USA now, Ron? I think you went back from Europe to America last year, I believe. Ron, usually a fixture at this tournament for the last few years, but in the American military and based back in his home nation now. But he was always one to watch out for. He was always there and thereabouts at the end. Came close a few years. Just wasn't to be in the end. But we miss you, Ron. Hope you're back one day. So I'm just waiting on the next game started up. Game 6, I think, next. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes' time with commentary for the next game. So don't go away. Welcome back to the 31st Irish Open, live from the 18-lane Leisure Points Bowling Centre in Stillorgan, Dublin, Ireland. Welcome to Giancarlo Ragusa and Rick Vogelsang. Thanks to everybody else that's joined us for this block so far. Your featured pair then, we've got Danny Hopcroft, Irene T. Danielson and Ghislaine van der Tol. An all-female lineup. Romeo, where for out there? Romeo Gaganu from Romania. Hey Romeo, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us. We're into squad 8. Another 4 squads, another 3 squads today. Next one at 12 noon UK time. 1 o'clock Central European time. Danny Hopcroft back after a break in bowling, former England international. And a good player. One to watch out for her this week. She'll be there and thereabouts at the end. Keep your comments and chat coming in. If you've got any questions, you say hello. Ghislaine starts with a spare, Danny with a strike, and Irene up now with a strike. Scores on the doors. After 7 blocks, Alan Bride from Ireland is way out in front with 14.62. Bernice Lim from Singapore, second with 13.70 scratch, 14.18 with ladies bonus. And Timo Pikisto and Lori Sipilä from Finland making up the top 4 with 14.08, 14.06. And James Wigmore in 5th from England with 13.91. We've had 1 300 so far from Owen Lebioda from Ireland. And we've had a couple of 299s, one from Lori Sipilä and one from James Wigmore. Please remember to share the web address for the Irish Open this week, please, so we can get lots of hits. We're just catching up floor bowling at the moment. We're just 2k behind floor bowling. We should pass them in the next couple of days. Not too shabby, is it? Getting more hits than an American website. So anyone joining us that's not aware, this is our 5th Irish Open that myself and streaming partner Simon Shepherd from the Dutch Bowling TV crew, or used to be from the Dutch Bowling crew, TV crew. It's the final year that we're doing it. Next year will be a new streaming team in negotiations at the moment. And I think we'll be pleasantly surprised and happy if it all goes through. The last thing we wanted to do, Simon and I are going to be unavailable to do streaming in the future, so we didn't want to leave the event without a really good alternative, so we've lined it up and hopefully everything will be cool. But I think you'll enjoy next year's streaming, probably more than this year's, if I'm honest. Very kind to say that you like my streaming, but I'm just a kid from York. Well, I'm not a kid anymore, but just a guy from Yorkshire that does it because nobody else does. In the UK, at least, anyway. Welcome to Hayley Rumkey, another fantastic player and a winner of this event. And Elliot Crosby, not a winner of this event, but also a very good player. Elliot will feature in the UK Hall of Fame database at the weekend. You will see. Where is he in the top 40? You will see. Alex Fraser. You retiring, Dom? Yeah, correct. I am retiring from streaming. Still doing all the rest of it. Still doing talk temping, still doing the World Cup, all the other bits and pieces, Hall of Fame. Just won't be doing the streaming anymore. I never really had enough equipment to do this. That's why I've always teamed up with the Dutchies, because Simon's got most of the other equipment, and we put my mixer and headsets together with his computer and Black Magic shuttle thing and camera, and we've done all right. Not done a bad job over the last 5 years, I don't think. Kept it real. But it's a lot of hours is streaming. For anyone that does it, it's, you know, there's only so many ways you can describe a strike, and you got 4 squads in a day for 2.5 hours at a time. Is even the best will in the world, if you're a good talker, there's going to be times in that where you think, I've had enough of this. It's one of the reasons you bring in guests and have a little break now and again. But I hope you've enjoyed the streaming that Simon and I have provided over the last 5 years. It's been fun. It's been emotional. We've really enjoyed it. But it'll be time for a change next year, and an improvement, if I'm honest with you. I mean, you're going to be pleasantly surprised by what we've lined up. Hopefully. Welcome back to Craigie Farr and Cass Edwards. Yep, that's right, folks. Cass Edwards is going to be doing live streaming next year. Already joking? Or am I? Yeah, I'm joking. Cass is retired now. It'd be funny if I could say, yeah, well, I'm not doing live streaming in Ireland because I've been accepted by Matchroom Sport to do the Weber Cup in Vegas this year. But that's not true. Before anybody gets any plans, can you imagine that, me doing Weber Cup in America? Like, who's this limey? Me and Randy Peterson. But yeah, I mentioned all that yesterday, and Sean Kennedy come up. He says, "Can you not say that it's the last Irish Open?" Or people are getting confused that it's the last Irish Open. It's not. It's not the last Irish Open. The event is still continuing. It's still as strong as ever. The only thing that is changing is there'll be a different streaming team next year. Cass Edwards, a Northern Monkey. Never overstay your welcome. That's what I say. Get the people wanting more. Having said all that, for you people out there that fancy doing a bit of streaming, you don't really need to go to the efforts we go to these days with computers and green screen and all the rest of it. You can just do it with an iPhone or a Android phone. There's plenty of little apps out there that you can put graphics on, and you just stick a camera up and commentate over the top of that. I would like to see a lot more people just film events wherever they are. It saves money for the event, saves people like myself having to travel. If there's somebody at an event that can do it, they should be encouraged to do it. Even taking photographs, doing reports. You're always welcome to do a report and photos and send them to Talk Temping. We will always post them. Still, after all these years, I do struggle to get information sent. Everybody knows where I am. They certainly remember it when they want a promotion for a tournament pre-tournament with entry forms, and then we don't get results later. That's happened quite a lot over the years. But like the Murphys, you're not bitter. Right, in the game, frame 5 of this final game of Squads 8. Danny Hopcroft gets a strike there, 84 in the 5th. Ghislaine van der Tol, 79 in the 4th with a strike working, looking for a Barney Rubble. And gets it. I will be back, of course, in the autumn at the World Cup, doing social media for Cubica AMF, which pretty honoured to be part of that gig. It's the only event I ever really wanted to be part of. Not really bothered for World Championships and European Championships. They're a bit faceless compared to something like the World Cup that's a little bit more personable and just as serious, but not as serious, if you know what I mean. But I do enjoy the World Cup. No idea where it is this year before anybody asks. That's one thing I don't find out. I'm part of the team, but you don't find out where it's going to be until it's signed, sealed, delivered and nailed on. So it could be anywhere. I quite want to go to Japan. I'd love to go to Japan. I'd love one in England. The London World Cup, that'd be cool. I don't think we've got any centres that are maybe good enough. But I'm looking at it at the moment, looking at Romford and Tolworth as potential places to hold the World Cup again. Tolworth had the World Cup way back and also a World Championship, so it's held big events there. Romford's a nice big centre that could do it in terms of the banqueting suite and all the rest of it, but I think it looks like a struggle to have a World Cup in England at the moment. But as a sport, we need a focus in the next few years, I think. Membership dropping, string bowling coming in. World Cup 2020 in London, how cool would that be? Anybody out there could make that happen, get in touch. But the beauty of the World Cup is you never know where it's going to be, and it's always somewhere cool in the world. Vegas last year, Hermosillo the year before, and Shanghai the year before that. Natasha Hales has just joined us. Hi, Natasha. Gislane, still a little bit light that time. Looking for a turkey, but didn't get it. We'll be back at 12, remember, for the next squad. And welcome to Roger Wichello from Beltec UK. And thanks to Roger and Nick Kepi and Beltec for arranging the sponsor for the Irish Open. Storm, the bowlers company, with 900 Global and 3G shoes. Into the 4th year, I think now, of a Storm deal. They did a 3-year deal and that ended and continued for this year. Hopefully, thanks to Bill Chrisman and Storm, we will be here next year with Storm again. Get well soon to Bill, who fell ill this week. He was due to come to the Irish Open this week, I believe, but he fell ill. I think he's in Europe somewhere. I'm not sure if he's okay, but it'd be great if he could still come. The big cheese, the boss. But I believe we will see the Beltec guys over, Nick and Roger, this week. And I heard that Cubica AMF's Bernard Gibbons and Anne-Marie Board will be here. So I'll maybe try and get one or two of them on the stream and have a chat. See what's going on in Cubica AMF land and Beltec UK world. A lot of new equipment coming out from Beltec in the first couple of months of the year from all the brands. You've been seeing them going up on the Beltec UK website. Get yourself over there to check out all the new releases coming this month and next month. Seems to be a few exciting balls coming out. But if you're listening, Hammer, come on, let's get that pink hammer back. Want the pink hammer. Or just bring back the whole range of hammers, but don't change them, bring them back how they were. It's time to go retro. Dom, as it's your last Irish, what's been your favourite moment since covering the tournament? Who has been your favourite player? That's a good question. I think my favourite moment will probably seeing Mick Stampy pick up the 710, because I was commentating with Adam Michaels at the time, and we just both of us caught it out of the corner of his eye, and I think I'd have to find the video again. But I think if you type in 710 Mick Stampy, you might find the video. But yeah, that moment really, actually seeing the 710 being picked up and catching it on commentary was cool. Best players, I don't know, I'm biased really. My favourite player has probably been Tim Mack in this event, because he's just a really nice guy, but it'd be unfair to name too many, because there's a lot of really good players I enjoy and I consider friends. So I think, if I had to be honest, really, Brian Voss. You know, that was a career highlight in a way, being able to interview a legend like Brian Voss, and to do it a couple of times as well. A really nice guy as well, he is. Loves a bit of Bolands. Nice to see Brian Voss back at this tournament one day. Same question for you lot. What has been your favourite moments over the last few years in the Irish Open, and which are favourite players? I think on the female side, probably Jenny Wegner. I liked seeing Jenny Wegner over here, because she's just awesome. It's nice to see Bernice Lim here this year. She's a really class player. But as you look from the list of winners of this event over the years, it's a who's who of top talent. The champions we've had. Let's have a look who's won it while we've been here. Kira Ray was one of them. Just looking for it now. Top champion. Oh, I can't find it now. Internet connection's gone down. Wah, 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 wah. Oh, I'm getting a mobile hotspot. Cool. Good old Simon giving me a connection. Where are we? MSI. Connected. We're just coming up to the end of this final game. About a frame or so to go. Yeah, so female winners while we've been here. Nicole Sanders, Kira Ray, Amanda Larkin twice. And the male winners while we've been here have been Brian Voss, Paul Moore, Tonna Togerson and Anthony Simonson. Yeah, quality players there, huh? Welcome to Lee Cocker, and congratulations with your signing for Brunswick. That's a good signing for Brunswick. Rob Thirlby and Lee Cocker on the brand now. Is it just Brunswick Lee, or is it the whole range? Is it the Radical and the DV8 as well, or is it mainly just Brunswick? Kind of usually just one, but you can play with all of them, isn't it? Well, Lee Cocker worked hard to get that deal. Over the last few years, he's got better and better in tournaments. And Rob Thirlby, well, he's just Rob Thirlby, isn't he? Good good wherever he goes. Ghislaine van der Tol going to finish with a 216 with one more strike. Danny Hopcroft finished with a 184, and Irene T. Danielson going to finish with a 171 if she strikes out. Hope you've enjoyed this squad. We'll be back at 12 for the next one. I've been Dom Gall. You've been awesome. And we're going to try later on, Simon, I'll bring you in a minute before we finish. We're going to try a live Skype call today.
I was thinking about it, but we can hear them. No, we can't hear them.
We can if...
No.
We can if we go through there, can't we?
Yeah, but how you hear it? We can't hear it on this one.
We'd have to put it on, wouldn't we? We'd have to put on the actual that and pick it up that way.
Yeah, I have no idea, but we will talk about it later.
We'll try it.
Yeah.
We'll try it. It'll either be a beautiful mess or an amazing bit of work. 216 then for Ghislaine, 184 as I said for Danny, and it's going to be about 171 then if Irene picks up this spare, which she does. So that's it. That's all she wrote for this squad. We'll be back for squad 9 at 12 o'clock. Hope you've enjoyed it. So go get yourself some lunch and stuff, or brunch or whatever it is at 10:30. We'll be back at 12 o'clock UK time. Thanks for watching. See you soon.